This
Good.
conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So, I mean, Dada Sahib Srikant, you guys also, replicate the same at your workstation, yeah? I assume so.
Yes.
Yes.
Good, good. All right. Nice. So, let me share my desktop. Are you able to see my desktop?
Yes, Ron.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, this is what we discussed in the last session. Yeah. So we were discussing about the drivers, yeah. So how to launch the driver and then how to deal with it, yeah. So we tried launching different browsers, right, with the help of different drivers, yeah. So like Chrome, Firefox, Edge, and we tried it out. So that's there. Okay, so what we can do today we'll deep dive into the different components, how to deal with those, yeah. So so now, like we saw, right, so we were able to launch the like particular website with the help of this program, yeah. So it is Chrome. So let me launch it one more time and then we'll just see. Now let it be. So just want to know, like, how Selenium is interact with the different browsers, right? So how Selenium is interact with the website. Let's take an example. We have launched this website, right? Now how Selenium is going to interact with this? What is that, like, we saw, right, Selenium is going to launch the browser, right? The Chrome has been launched, the website has been launched. Now what I want is, I want Selenium to interact with this website. So how do we do it, right? How Selenium is do it, right? So like we have some different components over here. You can see we have some buttons over here, yeah. And then we have some, text over here. We have some values over here as well. So if I click over here, so we get some forms to fill in. We have some input fields where we need to enter the data. We have some checkbox to check, right? Some text to enter. So we have some icons over here as well. So these icons are clickable and it will redirect you to some different website, yeah. So we have some text over here. So we have this logo as well. So this logo, if we click on it, so it will going to perform some operation. So how do we do it? Like how Selenium is doing it? So like just we saw, you saw, right, we perform the click operation, we perform the entering some value, right? So what is this? This is nothing but we are entering, right? We are selecting value, entering some values over here, yeah. And then we are again selecting the checkbox. So what we are doing, we are doing some operation on the website, yeah. This is nothing but the action. This is called as the actions which we are doing over here, right? So we are performing some operation. So how Selenium is doing this, yeah, and how it is interacting with all these the components, right? So the basic concept is, right, so in order to interact Selenium with the browsers, right, so any browser, so Selenium has come up with the different locators, yeah. So that locators will gonna help us to interact with this particular fields, yeah. So what is locator, right? So before that, in order to get the locator, before that we need to understand what is web elements, yeah. So this is a website, so it can be anything, right? Take any website. So this is what the website, yeah. So when XYZ website, yeah. And then whatever you see on this website, those all are the web elements, yeah. So you are able to see this logo. This is nothing but one web element. You are able to see this text, this text, this text, this text, right? This all four text. These are four different web elements, right? Then we have these particular buttons, like, over here. These all are the web elements. These four icons, these all again are web elements, yeah. This text, these three buttons over here, So all these are called as the web elements in terms of the automation testing. When we refer to the automation testing, that is what how it is. Yeah. So how to deal with this web element? Yeah. So Selenium has different components, right? So if I go over here, if I looked at, right, so as you can see, this all are the web elements, and then Selenium has a different locators to deal with this particular web element. So if I go and if I open some different website which you guys may be able to relate it, um, let me open the Instagram. All right, so this is what the Instagram page. Yeah. So let me go on the default page, right? This is the very first page of the Instagram. Yeah. So like though it be any website, it can be anything XYZ. Yeah. So what are these? So this is what my Chrome browser, then I launched the Instagram. That is what I did. So I can do it with the help of my program. So what I can do, I'll just quickly write the program to do this thing, and then we'll be moving forward. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is, so over here, and we launch the program. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this program. Oh, and I'm saying log into Instagram. Yeah. So this is what our program is now. All right. So everything is there, and as I mentioned, right. So this is what is gonna launch the Chrome driver. This is gonna what it will gonna it will gonna maximize the Chrome driver, right? So you need to type it by your own, right? I'm just copy pasting to save some time, right? So what you need to do is you need to create new class, create this method, write everything by your own, don't copy paste, isn't it? So don't do that, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and take this out from here, and this is also I'm gonna take this out. All right. So this time we have Instagram. Yeah, and that's there. So if I run it, so probably it should launch the Instagram. Let me do it. All okay. Yeah. So it did launch the Instagram, isn't it? And then quit the browser after 5 seconds. Yeah, that is what it did, right? So we got some one cookies window that is sometimes happening over here. We got that window. So that's not our concern, right? So the concept is like it did launch the Insta, it did launch the browser, it maximize it, navigate it to Instagram, and then after 5 seconds, so let me make it 10 seconds so that it will be more visible. And then after 10 seconds, it is the quit the browser. That is what the main concept is. All right. So what we want here now, so we want Selenium to interact with this particular website, yeah, to or this particular web page. So this is what the basic skeleton we did. This is what very first thing which we need to do, right? So like as soon as we launch the browser, navigate it to, and then we need to write this statement to kill the driver. Yeah. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to enter my credentials over here, right? And then I want to click on the login button. Yeah. And as you know, as we just saw, right, so everything which you are able to see on this particular web page is an web element. So this particular text is an web element, this input box is a web element, this is again an input box. Why I'm saying input box? Because this is something where we're going to enter some text, right? So we're going to enter some text over here. So this is what the input box. Then we have this login button over here. Yeah. So again we have some text over here. This is actually not a text. If you looked at, this is a link. Yeah. So if I click on here, so it will navigate me to somewhere else, or it will, give me something like this. Yeah. So it's clickable link. Yeah. So it's not like the text only. So again, forgot password, this is a link. If you know, you know it, right? So it's not a proper text, so it's a link again. Yeah. So we need to identify, right, what kind of web element it is, right? Just the best by looking at that particular, the element, you'll be able to identify it, because like you are working with this particular websites or any other website since long, and just by looking at the text you'll be able to understand what is the, it's a, the static text, or is a link, or it is something, what it is actually. And down the line you will be, habitual of that, right? So that's there. Then again, like, this is a static text, and this is again the hyperlink, isn't it? Sign up. So like you can easily differentiate it all about. So again, this is a text, and this all again against the, all are the URL. Yeah. So this is all our URLs. So this, whatever you are able to see on this particular web page, this is all are the web elements in terms of the Selenium language, right? Or any other automation tool, not only Selenium, any other, be any other, the tool, right? It can be anything. Yeah. So that is there. Yeah. So now how to deal with this? How to deal with this? In order to deal with this, right, what we have is what Selenium come up with. So we got some locators, right? So it called it as a locators, right? So what these are locators? So we have 8 locators at the moment with the Selenium. Yeah. So we have ID, we have name, we have CSS selector, we have XPath, we have tag name, we have class name, link text, and then the partial link text. These are the 8 locators we do have to interact Selenium with the web browser, right? So we'll see one by one how it is and what it is. Yeah. So link text is pretty straightforward. So right. So as you can see over here, so this is nothing but the link text. Yeah. Sign up, right? So this is what particular the text for this particular link. Forget password. This is again the link for this, but this is again the text for this particular link. What do I mean by the partial link text? So partial link text means the half part of this. So I can take some words from this. Sign up, I can take a sign only. So it's something to partial, a part of that particular link, isn't it? So I can take that one. So log into Facebook, this is again some a link text, isn't it? So I can take some part of it. So that is some, that comes under the bucket of partial link text. Yeah. So this is what the link text and the partial link text. Yeah. So these two are the these particular things. Yeah. So that's there. So how to use, we'll see down the line. Then again, like we have ID, name, CSS, XPath, and the tag name, and then the class name. So how to get it? Yeah. So in order to get it, what we need to do is we just need to, like, whatever web element we want it to be, right? So we need to get its property. Yeah. So we need to get is HTML tag, right? So in order to get that HTML tag, what you need to do is, let's take an example. I want to get the property of this particular web element. You just need to right click on that, and at the bottom you are able to see the option called as inspect. Yeah. So just click on that. So as soon as you click on that particular option, so a HTML view will be going to open over here. Yeah. So that is going to be there. Yeah. Or again, so go over here and press F12. Yeah, press F12. So if you are pressing F12, so again it will gonna do the same stuff for you, right? So that's there. Yeah. So both ways, right? But this is something which is easy, and then to do it, right? So right click and say the inspect web element, but F12 is also gonna do the same thing. So it will gonna open you a developer mode. So this is what it's called as a developer mode, and where you'll be able to see the HTML tag of all the fields, each and every fields. Yeah. So as we are dealing with this particular field and we right click on this field, so you can see some portion is highlighted into the HTML code. So that highlighted portion is nothing but this one only, this field is only. Yeah, so there are so many tags, and if I just mouse over, so it will navigate here and there, right? You can see the location is changing on the page, right? So this particular tag is this the for the password, so something like that. If I just mouse over, so it will move here and there, right? So it's giving me the location of that particular web element, isn't it? So by default, right, the web element on which we perform the right click operation and then like ask for the inspect the web element is been highlighted by default. Yeah, so that's there. So this is the HTML tag. So like you don't need to understand each and everything, right? How it has been written and who has written. This is something which is the development side guys will be gonna work on it. So our like our intention is, or our the requirement is just to understand these tags, and it is very pretty understand, it is very easy to understand, right? It's just just you need to read it out and you will be easily able to understand, right? It is nothing difficult in this, it's very simple. Yeah, so very first thing, right, whenever let it be any tag, yeah, let it be any tag, it always start with the tag name. You can see over here input, this input is nothing but the tag name. That is what it is over here. You can see the tag name. This tag name is like this is for the input. Go it for any web element. Take this web element. This div is nothing but the tag name for this particular web element. Be it be any web element over here is particular tag. So each web element is start with the tag name. You can see div. So there are, so that is what it is. So take it be anyway. So this is what the web element is saying with the label. This is what start with the span. Yeah, likewise. So you will be able to see the tag name for each and every web element. Yeah, so that is what it is, tag name, right? So that's there. Yeah, and let me do it again. Yeah, this is what our web element is. For our web element, input is a tag name. So tag name itself give you the hint or the intake, right? Hint or the suggestion, right? What tag name is suggesting to you is an input. So it's asking for the input. This particular field is an input field. It will gonna take the user's input, right? By tag name itself, you are able to understand, okay, this is an input field, right? So I need to enter some text into it. So user need to pass some text into it. That is what it is, the tag name is all about. Yeah. So yeah, that's there. So if it would have been a button, so you might have button written over here. So we'll see down the line, right, how it is work, right? So that's there. So now what is next? So that is something your tag name is. Then we have, if I just looked at what is there into this, so again I can get something. See, name is equals to username. Are you able to see? Name is equals to username. Yeah, what do we have? See, we have the name locators over here, isn't it? So we can, I can take this name is equals to username. That is what my locator is. This is pretty straightforward. So I got tag name as an input. I got name is equals to username. And do we have any other property? No, we do not have. Yeah, we do have this type is equals to text as well. This is one more property, though it's been not mentioned over here, but yes, it has been, it is there. The developer has written this particular property over here, right? So this is what called is as a attribute value and the attribute text, right? What is the text for that? So username is, this particular name is a tag, it is called as the attribute type, and this is what the attribute value for that. Yeah, this is what my attribute type, and this is what my attribute value. Yeah, these are the two things, right, in terms of HTML tagging, isn't it? And in terms of Selenium, this is what my tag name is, right? This is what my locator is. Name is equals to username. Yeah. So I can get this property, and with the help of this property, Selenium gonna go ahead and interact with this particular web element. So how to get this property? How to find the address? Like I need to find the address, right, of this particular of the web element. Then and then only it will gonna go ahead and interact. So I got this property. So what I can do, I'll just right click on this, and then I have this Chrome. In the Chrome we have this particular option, copy. Yeah, and then if you just looked at, so we have some different options over here. I have different options. Yeah, so copy XPath, copy full XPath, copy selector, outer HTML. So what I can do, I'll just go ahead and say copy XPath. Yeah, I'll copy the XPath. I copied the XPath, and then I can type Control plus F. As soon as I type Control F, you can see a small window has been open over here at the bottom, where I can enter something and I can just paste what I just copied. Yeah, I just right click over here and then say copy, and then I copied this XPath. Yeah, and I just press the Control plus F, right, and then this small window will be appear at the bottom, yeah, of the Chrome, right. Use a Chrome browser for to do all this stuff, yeah, all these things, yeah. And then I just pasted this thing over here. Yeah, so as soon as I pasted this thing over here, my XPath over here, so again, like, this is what the one more web, yeah, the locator XPath. You can see the XPath over here. So that's there. So what we saw the XPath, we saw the tag name, we saw the name, we saw link text, partial link text. Yeah, so we got almost 2 3 4 5 locators, right, in one web element to interact with. So among these, like, we can get anything to interact with. We just need only one locator, right, to interact with this particular web element, and just with the help of that we need to find the address. So this is something what the address, yeah, to interact, right. This is what the server will understand to interact with this particular web element. Yeah, and if I paste it over here, you can see it's been highlighted in yellow color. If I mouse over, my particular field has been highlighted in green and blue color. And the most important part is this particular section. Very first thing which you can look it as this one of one, right, that means it's been uniquely identified. So you better know the meaning of this one of one, one of 10, one of 100, right, 100 of 1000, right. So what does it mean? One particular web element or one particular page of 10 page out of 10 page, right, or fifth page or the fifth element out of 15 page, something like that. Yeah, you know this thing, like this particular the meaning of this particular one of one and two of two, something like that. Yeah, so it should be always one of one. That means it's been uniquely identified. We need this web element to be find uniquely, though it be XPath, though it be name, it can be anything, right. So whatever the locators we're gonna use, those needs to be with the help of that particular locator. This address needs to be uniquely identified. Then and then only your script will be work properly down the line, else it will fail sometime. Yeah, so that's there. So it is our primary responsibility. After finding the XPath, what we need to do is we need to check for the uniqueness of that particular web element, right, which we will going to use over here. Yeah, so that's there. So I can see it's one of one. My web element address has been highlighted, right. If I mouse over, I can see my field, right, it's been highlighted in the yellow and in the sorry, in the green and the blue color, right. So it's gonna be a perfect fight for me, right. So what is the next step? What is the next step then? I'm able to get this thing. I just copy this thing, I validate it, right. Yes, everything is looking fine over here. I just copied this thing and I'm going to my Eclipse now, right. So I'm going to write this into my program now, right. So what is the next thing to do it now? How will my driver gonna interact with? Yeah, so you can see, so driver.get, so it will navigate it to this particular website. Now what I want to do is I want to enter some text over here, driver dot again. So now once I'm saying driver dot, I'll be able to get all the methods those are available in that particular class now, isn't it? The Chrome driver class now. Now what I want to do that, so driver dot, I'm asking driver to what to do. I want to find my web element. Yeah, first find the web element, right. I can see there are different methods available. So find web element, find elements, right. So this is different, and then they have another things. So find element, this particular, the method itself suggesting you I need to find one web element. And then we do have the find elements, right. So this will gonna find you the bunch of the web element, right? The more than one web element, right? So that is what it is, the find web elements. And this is the most important interview question. This is very simple. What is the difference between the find element or find elements? Or it may ask in the no, another way, what is the return type of the find web elements? Yeah, the question will be in this way. What is the return type of the find elements, right? So return type of find elements, you can see over here, list of the web element. This is what is return type. What do you mean by return type? Return type means what we gonna get out of that particular statement. When I'm writing this statement, so what will gonna get out of it? What is my output? What is my ultimate output? That is what nothing but the return type, isn't it? So when I'm using find element, then it will gonna find only one web element with the locator, whatever I'm specifying over here. But when I'm going to go ahead and use find elements, it will going to return me the list of the web element. Yeah, we'll see how it works, right? But that is what the difference between these two things, right? So you may get this interview question over there. Yeah, so just make a note of it. So I'm going to go ahead and select the find element, and then I need to specify the locator. So what is my locator? Then what we have, by dot Xpath. That is what we have. So you can see over here we are able to get almost all. If I just say by dot, I'm able to see all the methods available over here. You can see by dot class name, by dot css selector, by id, by link text, by name, by partial link text, by tag name, by Xpath. Yeah, it's been given over here, right? So that's there. You can use this thing. Yeah, either you can use directly this thing or you can use this one as well. Yeah, so best practice is right, go with this thing. So this again, the by is a class, and in that class we have different methods over here. So this is been at the class and then directly we return in the class. So the both ways it will gonna work. Yeah, so both ways it will gonna work, right? So best practice is go with this approach. Yeah, so like the industry is following this approach rather than taking this one, right? Instead of taking the direct class, so take this first class and then call the method from that particular class, right? Ultimately is doing the same thing, isn't it? So you can see there are n number of things, but like we are dealing with only this particular 8 things, right? 8 locators. So class name, css selector, id, link text, name, partial link text, tag name, and then the Xpath. So what we have at the moment, we have the Xpath there with us. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and take this Xpath, right? And then it's asking me for the Xpath expression. So I need to enter my expression over here. So I'll just enter double quote, and what I need to do is I need to paste my expression right from where I took it. So I took it from here. Yeah, this is what the my Xpath text is. Yeah, so I just copy it from here and I paste it over here. Yeah, so driver dot find element, I want to find this particular element by Xpath. This is what is Xpath. This is what is address, and what I'm asking driver to find this particular web element, and this is what the its Xpath. And once you are able to find that web element, what you need to do is, right after you get this particular web element, what you need to do is, after that dot, this is what a different operation I can perform on it, right? So this is gonna find the web element. After the web element has been found, so this is what all the operations I can do on that. I can clear the text, I can click the text, I can again find the web element, different web element. There are n number of operations I'm able to perform on this particular web element, right? Whether it is enabled or disabled, I'm gonna, I can like check on this. I want to get text of that web element, get tag name, get size. There are n number of methods available over here. Tons of methods available over here. So out of this, what I want, this is the input box, right? This is the input box. I want to send some text to that particular box. Selenium has to send some text to that input box, right? I want to enter the text. The user want to enter the text into that text box, input box, right? So say what my program will gonna do. My program will gonna send some text into this particular input box, right? Into this particular input box. My program is gonna send or enter some text into this particular input box. So what do I have for that? So I'm saying dot. If I just looked at, you'll be able to see send keys over here. Yeah, the method is over here, the send keys. So its character sequence can be sent to this. So if I use this send keys, and then I can write whatever I want over here. Yeah, so what is the text I want to enter, I can write it over here. So time being, I'm going to just write my email address, right, or your username, whatever your username is. So you can do that like as per your what is your username. So you can go ahead and use your username over here. Yeah, so let's take an example. This is what my username, or I can write something, my email address, something like that. Yeah, so this is what my like simple email address I enter as in my username to that particular input field. Yeah, so that's there, right? So let me add some thread over here so that you will be able to see this particular operation. Thread of 3 seconds. Yeah, so why I'm doing this thing, to slow down the process. Yeah, so what is going to happen is so it will launch the Chrome. Yeah, and then it will going to maximize the Chrome. After that it will navigate to this particular website. Yeah, so after is this command is being fired, so Selenium is going to wait for 3 seconds. Yeah, to, and then it will gonna do this operation. It will first find that particular web element, and once that web element has been found, then it will gonna send a text, this particular text, to that particular web element, and then again it will gonna wait for 10 seconds, and then it will gonna kill the session. Yeah, so that is what this program will gonna do. Yeah, so let's see in practical how it gonna do and how it gonna work for us. Yeah, so let me run it. So any question guys over here? Let me just run it. The Chrome has been launched. It's maximize it. Navigate to Instagram. So okay, I'm accepting this all cookies, and see the text has been entered. Are you able to see it? See, and after 10 seconds, it will gonna quit the browser. So it did that. Yeah, it did that, and our program is successful. Yeah, so it did that operation, isn't it? So that is what how it is. That is what it is, pretty simple and straightforward, isn't it? What I just did, I asked driver to find the web element, right, with this particular XPath as a locator, and I gave the locator. And once this web element has been found, what I need to do is I want to send some text, as it is an input box, right? It is an input, right? That is an input box. You can see over here, it's an input box. I'm sending some text to this particular input box with the help of this particular XPath, and that's it. And that is what I do, right? Manually, what I'm going to do is I'm doing the same thing. I'm launching the browser, I'm navigating to URL, and once I navigate to URL, I enter my credential over here. It can be anything, phone number, username, or email address. It can be anything, right? So I enter that over here, and then I'm gonna enter my password, and then I'm gonna click my login button. Now I just enter the username. Like again, what I need to do is I need to enter my password. So let's do the same thing. Just repeat the process, right? So how do I do it? Just again, I want to get a password now. So first we deal with the username. Yes, we are able to do it. Now again, I want to go with the password. So I click on the password, right click on that, say inspect. See, as soon as I did that, I'm able to see this particular address of this particular web element, right? Right, and if I mouse over that, that particular password field has been highlighted on my web page. Again, if you can see, tag name as input box, it's an input box, it's again asking some value to you, and obviously, right, we need to enter some value over here. And if I just looked at what are the properties I do have, I have name is equals to password, type is equals to password over here. Yeah. So two property has been given, right? So name, that is there. The locator has been mentioned over here in our documentation, in Selenium documentation. We have the input, and we do have the type is equal to password, that is some another attribute type. Yeah, so what I can do is pretty straightforward. Again, I'll just right click over here on this particular address, and then you need to select it first. Yeah, so like don't just go like this, so you need to select it, so it's in blue color, else you won't be able to right click on that. Yeah, just select it and then just right click on it and then copy XPath, and then again this is there. I'm just validating it. So whatever the XPath is been find the found out by this the Chrome, right? So whether it is right or wrong, I'm just validating it so that my script should not fail, right? So I'm again cross verifying it. So I pasted it over here. Yeah, so it's one of one. Yes, it's an uniquely identified, and then it's been highlighted in yellow. If I mouse over, I'm able to see my password field on my web page is been highlighted in green and blue color. So it may be different for at your end, but it it should be highlighted. Yeah, just check like it is highlighted or not. Yeah, so that is what the cross verification we quickly need to do before using this particular address. Yeah, so again the same story, right? So what I have now, I got my address, right? I got the XPath of this particular web element. So again what I need to do, I need to do the same thing again, same step again, right? I enter the password. Now I enter the like username. Again I need to enter my password. Yeah, so by dot XPath, and then I'll gonna go ahead and write my expression over here, and then dot send keys. And what I want to send, I can send anything. My password is password, whatever it may be, right? Like whatever you have, so you can just type your password over here and then that's done, right? So you enter your password. So what is the next thing is, I entered my username, I entered my password. The next thing is I need to click on my login button. Yeah, the same story. I'll just right click on it and I'll say inspect. See, this has been highlighted now, right? This is what the address of my login button. Yeah, and you can see the tag name is something different, div, and there are some different properties over here. Yeah, so let me expand it and see there are like the different web elements now. So if I just mouse over on this, you can see the complete web element is highlighted, which is in some different color. You can see this entire strip has been highlighted over here. So we have that particular one web element, which is the entire strip, and then again inside that we have one web element, and this is what we are looking into, interested into, right? So we just need this particular. This is again be specific, right? When you are selecting the XPath, be specific what you want. Yeah, so we are not interested into this entire strip, right? Entire web element. We are interested into this button only. Yeah, the login button only. Now if I just mouse over on this, you can see this is a sub child web element. Yeah, this is the parent web element, this is child web element of it, and then we are interested into that child web element, isn't it? Not in the parent web element. So go into this. So we need to be sometime careful about, right? When you are able to see such kind of icons, just expand it so that we get our correct web element. This is very crucial, right? We need to get in the correct address. So as I told, right? So whenever we are having button, so we have a tag name called as button. See, the tag name is button now, right? So again, I like we have some more properties over here. Yeah, it's been again expanded, and then like we have some class name over here, display type. Again, we have type is equals to submit. Yeah, we do have the type equals to submit over here. Yeah, so like this is good, right? I'm able to highlight my web name. Now what I can do, I just right click on it and then say copy, and then copy XPath. I'll do that directly, and then again like over here in this, I'll just validate, right, or verify what I found is correct, right or not wrong. Yeah, correct is right or not. Yeah, so over here I pasted it and it's one of one, it's been highlighted in yellow color. If I mouse over again, my web element is highlighting right on my web page. So yeah, everything looks good now. So I'll take this and then I'll go to my program and then I'll just write what I need to do is again driver dot find web element by dot XPath. And what is my XPath? This is what my XPath expression. Now this time what I need to do, I want to click on the web element, right? This is the third operation I'm performing. I entered my password, I entered my username, right? And now I'm clicking the web element. So if you are able to see over here the click operation, so I just selected that. That's it. Yeah. So I enter the username over here, entered username, did the same thing over here. I enter the password and I'm performing the click operation, clicking the login button. Yeah, it is that much simple. And that's it. Once I'm done with this thing, and then like I'm okay, so you can quit my browser. Yeah, so I am asking Selenium wait for some time just to log in, right? So it will be redirected to the, if your login is successful, this particular website will redirect to your Instagram account. Yeah, that is what it's going to perform after the clicking on the login button. It should do it. Yeah, that is what the operation, usual operation, or the functional. But like, so that is what it is. And then yes, we are into the Instagram account. That is what how it is, right? So we perform three operations over here, which is pretty straightforward operation, isn't it? So that is what it is. Yeah. So let's see how it's gonna work, whether it is gonna work or not. Yeah. So we'll see it. Yeah. Let me run this program and we see how it's gonna do, how it works. So starting the Chrome, the browser has been launched. It is gonna navigate to URL, maximize. It's navigating to URL. Here the cookies are coming. All right. So it's SE. It did all three operations. Have you noticed? It entered the username, it entered the password, and it did click on the login button. And like, obviously the password is not correct. Even the username is not correct. So the script, I mean the login failed. But yes, so that is not our intention. Our intention is to how to deal with the web elements. Yeah, if it would have been the right credential, it will, it might have logged in. Yeah, that is what how it is. Yeah, so that's there. Yeah, so this is what the operation we can quickly perform, and this is what how we can find out the web element and deal with that. Yeah, so any question guys over here?
Hi Rahul.
Yeah.
For username and password, there is name attribute. However, but here is the showing ID at the ID login form div.
Hmm.
When we check on the website, when we inspect, there is showing name attribute.
Yeah, this is what the Xpath we find it out. This is what the Xpath, the tool has been given directly to us. So what it is giving, right? That is what the combination, right? Internal combination that has been automatically given to us. So we generally not deal into that part, what it has been given. So whatever address has been given, so we are just validating whether it is correct or not. So it's okay, then this is good, right? We can go ahead with that. Yeah. So this is what the address has been given by the tool. But the story behind it, we will never rely on this address given by the tool. Yeah, as you just mentioned, right? We are not able to understand from where this disease has been picked up.
Yes, sir.
We have no idea. Yeah, we have no idea. What if tomorrow something change? So it's saying div 3. So what if over here is a div 4? See, 0 0. This has been changed now. So from where this div is coming? So what is happening over here is, so that's what like is been never recommended. This I just took it to just understand, to just kickstart, but it's been never recommended, right? So don't ever use such kind of XPath finding method, isn't it? So it's pretty straightforward. It looks very easy, but it's is, in long run is not useful, isn't it? It's good just to have the initial stage, right? But when we are going to design the framework, it is not and never been recommended, isn't it? We need to find it by our own. Yeah, by using the different type of selectors. The locators is been provided by the Selenium. Don't ever rely on this particular XPath. Ultimately this has been given by some XYZ tool, which is good, but like is not authenticate 100%, right? Though is giving accurate result, but don't do like that. So what is happening, why I'm saying that, right? So as of now, as of today, we're able to see this div and div3 on this particular button. So what is happening is, so it has been taken the same class name, id is equals to login form. So login form is something which is the id has been given to this particular like the page, right? The login page. And after that it has different web elements, so div and div. So first is what this is, the username and then password. So this div is gone for this username, the second div is gone for this password, and then like third is gone for the button. So what if down the line some new field is coming over here just to enter some captcha or something like that? Then the address of this login button will gonna change. So there will be some more div again, slice some again div, and then it might be some 4 5. This is what is gonna happen at the back end. Now this is not correct. Now our address has been changed, and like we never know, right? It's ongoing process, right? The development is continuously going on, and we never know what is coming on the way, right? Down the line, what user story is going to change our web page, design of the web page, and we never know. That's what it is very important when we are selecting the export path, that should be among our selectors. And then how do we do it, right? So what is the format? So let's take in the different way, right? Let's learn the second way to identify the web element. Yeah, so again same story, I'll just right click on here, say inspect my web element, and it will gonna give me my web element. All right, so I have got the input tag. Don't do anything at the at your workstation right now. Just sit back and look at the desktop what we are discussing about. So you have the recordings, and then get it done at your end. Yeah, don't do anything as of now. Just sit back and just focus on the session. All right, okay. So yeah, so we are here right now. This is what the first thing, right? The tool has been given us the XPath, right? So, and which is never been recommended, is not authenticated, right? What we need to do is we need to find our way, right? We need to find XPath by own, and you need to get your expertise on this, right? This is the very first thing which you need to learn by, and like learn like anything, right? Like बोलते हैं ना, नींद में से उठाया तो हाँ भाई एक्सपर्ट निकलना है, हाँ फटाक से हो जाना चाहिए, समथिंग लाइक दैट, right? It should be like that. Yeah, so that is something how we need to be familiar with finding the XPath, right? It is very first thing, basic thing, and you need to be expert in this particular area. All right, so how it is, okay, so there we have some particular format over here. So if you looked at, so we have some particular format to finding out the XPath, right? So double backslash, and then this is the star, and then at the rate, and then attribute type and attribute value. Yeah, so what is this star? So this is nothing but the tag name, and then attribute, this is what my attribute type, and this is what my attribute value. This is what the syntax. This is what the syntax. Yeah, so if I want to you, I can ping you over here. Where is the chat box? Yeah, just excuse me with the spelling, probably I might have mistaken. Yeah, so it's there. Yeah, so that is what the basic stuff is. So double backslash, tag name, attribute type, and the attribute value. Sometime, right, instead of tag name, if we do not have tag name, if you want to mention it, that's fine. If you do not want to mention it, you can just type star or as well. Yeah, so both way it will gonna work, isn't it? So if you have it, then that's good. If you do not have, it's fine. So you can just enter the star over there. So that is what something the format is, and that's what it is happening over here. Yeah, so now just look at how we can change this, right? So over here, what is my tag name? My tag name is input. So I'm gonna go ahead and enter that over here. Input is what my tag name. All right. Then what is the attribute type we have? We can see we have the name over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take name. And what is the value? Is the username. That's it. See, see, it's been identified. It's been uniquely identified. One of one. It's been highlighted. And if I mouse over, right, my web element has been highlighted. See, and this is 100% authenticate. Yeah, though it be like, I mean, on this web page, if there is any changes down the line in upcoming sprint or upcoming release, if there is any new development is going on, some new web element has been introduced, we might have captcha over here, we might have something over here, some image or something like here and there. Yeah, this address will not gonna change. Developer will not gonna change this property because this has been written in their business requirement document. All right, so this will not going to be changed. It's very often, like it's very rare, this is going to change, and if it has been changed, we will get a notification on that, but it will never going to happen. Yeah, so that's what, this is what the base method which we need to do, and you need to learn this, and you need to master this, you need to expert on this. All right, this is pretty straightforward, right? So your tag name, right, if we have over here input, that's why you can go ahead and write it input. If we do not have input, if we have div, just press star, it will gonna work. Yeah, in both ways it will gonna work. If you have tag name, go with it. If you don't have, just enter the tag. And then like what property we have the name and the username. I can do that, I use that at the rate name and then the username, isn't it? And that's there. Yeah, then again, like if you have something different, right, so if you have id, so you can use id and go with that. Yeah, so let me use this and let me try with it whether it is going to work or not. Yeah, so let me just copy this statement, paste it here, or let me do it in this way. All right, and let me go copy this, and I'm going to change my locator. Yeah, so this time it is properly authenticated. Yeah, name and then the username. Similarly, let me go ahead and check for the password. What is there? So I'll just right click and say click on the password, and I'll get my the web element. So you can see over here in password again, we do have the name is equals to password, type is equals to password. Yeah, we do have that. So I can use the same. So I'll just copy this thing. So it's been here, and yeah, so I'll just paste it over here. See, again I'm able to get my web element, and which is been uniquely identified, one of one hello. And if I mouse over, so it's been there. Yeah, so I can get this web element, and I can change this web address. Same goes for my button as well. Yeah, so if I can right click, and if I say inspect, probably I'll get attribute type and some value over here. And yeah, so this is parent web element. You can see this is what the parent web element, and then inside that we have the child web element, and which we are dealing with. Yeah, see over here. Yeah, and then over here what we have is we have the type is equals to submit. Yeah, so let me try with this. See, type is equals to submit. So though it's been not mentioned over there, right? So we have this type, and then we do have the text as well. Yeah, we can use some different functions over here. It's been given, right? If that property has been given over here, so we can definitely go ahead and use it, because the syntax is what attribute type and equals, and then the attribute value, that is what the syntax is. This 8 is been given by the Selenium, right? It's been recommended, but developer can use some more properties over here, and we need to get that property. We are not restricted to use only these locators. If developer has suggested enter some new properties, like over here you can see the developer has entered this particular property, type is equal to submit. Okay, I know the format, I know the syntax. Yeah, so I can use same. So type is equal to submit. I just tried it out. Type is equal to submit, and I'm able to find it out my web element uniquely. Yeah, it's been uniquely identified. One of one is been highlighted. If I mouse over, I can see my web element is been highlighted. So I'm okay with this. I can go ahead and, or I can again, like you can use tag name over here as a, instead of a star I can write it as a button as well. So both way it will gonna work. Yeah, so if I write something like this over here, see, button is also, this is also going to go and work. So either ways, right, we can use. So most important is unique identification of our web element, that should be there. And then again I'm going to go ahead and change my expression. This is what my expression is. And don't ever forget to write double code over here. We need to pass it as a text, right? If you're not, if you forget to write double quote, so it won't work. Yeah, so that's there. All right, this is what the correct way, or the the official way, right, to find it out the XPath, right? Don't go with this thing, never ever go with this thing. If you are doing this for the practice purpose, then that's fine, right? But in real life, don't go with this, go with this always, right? So let me run it, and let me add some thread, because we are getting cookies over there, and here as well. Let me add some thread to see the operation. Just adding some weight just to see the operation step by step how it is doing, isn't it? So instead of doing in one go, so we'll perform it step by step. All right, so that's there. So let me run it, and let's see what it's going to do for us. The Chrome is starting. Yeah, the browser has been launched, navigating to Insta. All right, as we gave some weight over there, so it waited for that particular time and enter in the test, and see the login button has been clicked. And we got some error message. Obviously it won't log in because the credential is not correct. And after 10 seconds it will go and kill the session. That is what how it is. Yeah, so this is what the way, right, how we can go ahead and do it, right? But like, if you're saying, if you are looking at the desktop, our program is ended, right, but we do not have anything on the console as such. Like, we are not sure about like whether it performed the correct operation or not. Like what we did, right, we do not have any what we can say that log, or as in proper output or something like that, right? Because this is a plain Java program as of now, right? So we do not have anything, but yes, we can add manually, right, just to print something on the console, right? So what I can do, I'll just write system.out.println statement over here, and I can say username has been entered, just to have something on the console, right? Because this is what the operation I'm performing. I'm What I'm doing, I'm entering the username. over here what I'm doing, I'm entering the password. Yeah, and over here what I'm doing, I am clicking on the login button, something like that, isn't it? And again I can write something over here. I can say user navigated to insta um, gram page, isn't it? Something like that, so that we have something at our console, right? So if this operation is successful, then only this statement will gonna go ahead and execute, and then it will gonna print it on the console. Same thing over here as well. If this operation is successful, then it will go for the next statement of line and it will execute this one, and we will be able to see this on the console, so on and so forth, isn't it? The step by step. So like this is what the step by step operation we need to think of, and we need to write the code accordingly. So why I'm doing this, so like, so whatever moving forward, right? So this is what, the we need to understand in the Selenium, right? So never humble jumble, right? So just think what are all steps we are doing, and we need to go by step by step, step by step, step by step operation. This is what the way to write the program. It is very simple, right? It's very simple. Yeah, but we need to understand it in a proper way, right? We need to put it the coding in a proper way. So look at, right, this is the one set of the operation which we are performing. Yeah, this is a second set of operation we are performing. This is a third action we are performing. This is the fourth action we are performing. So I'm like segregating the actions, right? So that it looks easy for us. This is one set, launching the browser. This is another set, maximizing it. This is another set, navigating to Instagram. So we need to be, arrange it properly. So write in a way so that it looks easy to you. Because what is happening eventually, your code will grow day by day, line by line, and line by line. So it will be very difficult for you to maintain it down the line. When like as of now, it's only 40, 50 lines, we can easily recognize. But what if it's 1,000 line of code? It will be very difficult for us to manage. So this is making really very sense. Believe me, guys. This is the statement which I'm writing over here. This is the standard practice. Follow this. What you are doing in this particular, line of code. So some XYZ person, when he or she is looking at your code, they will be able to understand what is happening over here. And if I'm writing this thing over here, this is what does it mean? I'm showing like I'm, telling them like this code is being written for this particular action which I'm performing. This code is for this particular action. This code is for this particular action, isn't it? This is something which we need to do in real life, so that we when this the class will be grow day by day. It should not be like, it should be easy for maintenance, isn't it? I can easily control F and find where that, the password code is. If I'm not writing any statement, I just need to scroll up and down and see, look where it is, and it's very difficult to find it in 1,000 line of code, isn't it? So if you have this thing, I can just say control F and just say password, and it will directly redirect me over here, and I can change whatever I want in that particular snippet, isn't it? So it's really make a sense. So start this practice from today, right? So whatever action you are performing, just summarize it in a simple word, 1 2 word, or 1 2 like 3 4 5 words, not more than that. Just summarize it in simple shortest way, so that you will be able to understand what you are doing on that particular action, what you are performing as a particular activity under that particular things, isn't it? So that is something which we need to do in real life. All right, that's there. Okay, so like what we did, we just changed the locator, and which is the correct way to do it. Let me run it and let's see. Obviously we're going to do the same operation. Ah, this is something problem over here. We usually get that. Probably you may not get it at your end. All right, so that's there. So it did the operation. Yeah, and after 10 seconds it will gonna quit. And see, we have something at our console to just get the user interaction. So what we did, user navigated to Instagram page. Okay, so user entered the, like, username has been entered, the password has been sorry, this should be password. Okay, and then the clicking on the login button. Yeah, so that is there. So it should be something. ah, all right, something like this. So this is, it is that much simple. All right, so you might have got an idea now, right? Now, yeah. So how to use this different, the path. So we saw the Xpath, we saw the tag name, class name, we'll see the downline when it will be coming, link text, partial link text. Those are not that much useful, but yes, is there, sometimes it's good to use it, right? And then we do have the ID as well. We'll see how it goes, down the line, one by one. So it will be coming our way. So, like, we'll be learning it step by step, and like as we are go on, isn't it? So that's there. Yeah. So any question, guys, over here?
Uh, Rahul,
Mhm.
yeah, Rahul, regarding the elements that you said over here, but whenever you are entering, you are having some additional backward slashes over there onto the program. So is it to mitigate
Ah,
the double
okay.
quote? Uh,
Yeah, yes, yes. So yeah, this is what you are referring to. Yeah. So this is what it is coming. This
yes,
is,
yes, yes,
yeah.
yes.
So yeah, the Selenium is doing that. Like, so as I'm having this double quote over here, that's what it is coming. So if I just removing, and it is the correct way, so we need to enter it in that way only. So if we are not entering this thing, and then we are just, that's what I mentioned as well. So you need to be very careful about it, because Selenium is not understanding the direct way. Yeah. See, now I don't have it. So now it's not able to understand this thing, isn't it? So so that is what we need to have is. So now if I enter it in double quote, so I first, what I usually do is, the first way is, I first, like, whenever I want to enter the Xpath expression, I first enter the double quote, and into under that double quote I'm pasting the expression. So then it will the automatically this ID will gonna format it, added some whatever it want, right? So backslash over there. So like when we are providing path to the Selenium, it won't take it directly, as we are working on Windows. So in Windows, like, how do I say it to you? Okay, so if I go here, if I copy this path and paste it over here, so this is what the path for the Windows to navigate. But if Selenium wants to, and if I want to pass this path to Selenium, I need to pass it something like this. Then only Selenium will be able to understand it. This is now understandable to Selenium. Yeah. So this
Okay.
is what, how it is. That's what, like, what it is doing, it itself adding this thing to make it user friendly, isn't it? So make a practice, right? So make a practice, like, what you can do is just enter it inside the double quote, right? So don't do that first entering it and then writing code here and there. So it will be make your life easy. So just write by.xpath and then just enter the double quote. So you will be getting that probably. So see, what I'm doing is driver dot find element and then by dot xpath. So I'm getting the expression over here. So what I'm doing, I'm just deleting this. I'm entering double quote, right? I just press one double quote, and now I'm gonna paste my um, expression over here. So make a habit of this thing. So you will be a habitual of this thing, so that everything has been formulated properly. And now inside that I'm entering my um, expression, and then dot send keys or whatever operation you want to perform. Likewise, yeah. Again over here, again enter double quote and then enter whatever you want to do it, isn't it? Make a practice of that. Yeah. So that will make your life easy, isn't it? So you don't need to look into, like, the forward slash and backward slash. So sometimes that is going to happen. So we are missed to write this thing, and then the element is not able to find it out, and we are banging our head like anything. but the simple, the mistake will, make our life, problematic. So that's there. That's there to
Uh,
do in this way.
Rahul,
Mhm.
Rahul, I have a question. Suppose while finding the elements on the web page, if there are the multiple elements found on the web page, then in that case, what we have to do? How to find
So
out
we
the
need to
elements uniquely?
right. So in that case, what we need to do is we need to concatenate the identifiers. So we need to concatenate two properties of the web element. So right, as of now, we are we are dealing with one property. So we are happy we are able to find it out uniquely. But what if this is not uniquely identified? At that time, what we need to do is we need to concatenate it. We need to take two or three properties of the web element and do it. So as you can see over here, uh, mm, inspect. So for this web element, we have two properties. We have the name and then we have the password as well. So we can concatenate this thing, two things. Yeah, I can write the name as a name is equals to the password and then concatenate with the type and the password. So we'll see the downline. Yeah. So we have the entire 2 hour sessions on this particular web elements, isn't it? So yes, how to deal with, there are a number of ways to we need to learn, right, how to deal with this thing. So yes, that's there. So how to find it out, the unique XPath, right? So we need to concatenate it with some other properties. Yeah, so we need to do that,
Okay,
right?
so we have to concatenate these web elements with the help of some operators.
Yes, not operators, but yes, with the help of locators, some different locators. So like this is
Okay,
one locator, we need to find it out like some other locator, and we need to concatenate that XPath. We need to create the XPath in that way, right? By the concatenating of the two XPath, two properties.
okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, right. That's there. Yeah. So you can see over here, the name is equals to username, and then we have the type is equals to text, two properties. So we can take these two property and create XPath, like the concatenating two properties and create the XPath, and that we can use, right? So that's there. So usually this is not change. If we have direct property, as mentioned in the Selenium documentation, if we have that direct, so usually it never change. If we are not able to get any locators among that which Selenium has been given to us, among these eight, if there is nothing, then only we need to get into the concatenation. Else we are not required to go into the concatenation, isn't it? It's never been it's not needed actually, isn't it? And like is always we have at least one property from this, like this at least we have one locator in our uh, property of this particular web element, and that is usual practice. That is usual practice. Yeah. Either the developer has to specify the ID or the name. These two, among these they have to, or the class name. So this is the other most mandatory field. Those are generally will be there. 99% will be there. If not, then we need to go for the concatenation. So that's there. No, anything else? All right. So that's there. So now you got an idea, yeah, how to deal with this thing. No? All right. So, like, are you guys taking a break? Are you, like, do you want a break of 5 minutes, or we can continue with the next topic?
Right.
Break.
Okay, just go for the 5 minute, and then we'll continue. Yeah. All right.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right. That's there. Okay. So now what next? Yeah. So again, like, do we have the other side? Probably you might be talking on mute. So again, if you looked at in this program, what I did, I use this Thread.sleep. Yeah. So like again, this is the something which is the utility of the Java, and is called as the hard coded wait. Yeah. So like irrespective of what is happening, what is the going on into the program, so it will gonna stop or halt your execution, right, for that much particular time, isn't it? So again, it's been not recommended in the industry, right? It's been never been recommended. Yeah. But just what just to see the flow, right? So we need it. Yeah. So we are just if I'm not using this thread or sleep over here, then the operation will be very quick, and we may not be able to understand what has happened. Yeah. So I just did that. I just commented all the thread.sleep, and then let me run it. So it will be very quick, and that is what it is happening in the real time, isn't it? So why we use it, just to understand the step by step flow. Now it will be very quick because there is no thread now. So it will be, the Selenium will work one after another. Like even I'm not getting chance to see what has happened. It error out. Probably I might have taken focus out. That's what. Let me rerun it. So what is happening here? So it's asking our security concern whenever we are launching the browser. So that is something which is here. So it's asking to accept all cookies or not. So that's what I'm getting, that window. Probably you may get it or may not get it at your end. Just try it out. Now this time I don't disturb it. I'll let it go. So operation is flowing at the back end. So we'll be able to see out on our console what has happened or not. See it error out again. User navigate to Instagram page, and then it error out. Why it is happening? If I just remove this thing, yeah. So over here, if I'm taking this out, so now thread has been applied.
Rahul,
Yeah. Hmm.
I have a little bit advanced question. If we run the headless mode without using the thread, then what will happen?
Yeah. So that we can do. I mean, ultimately we need to do that only. So we'll see that in the framework design. So it is far away. Yeah. Don't jump into that as of now. So it's far
Okay,
away.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Jenkins is doing that. So when we are running our program with the help of Jenkins, so Jenkins is doing that only. We will never be able to see the browser, and like, no, we will never be able to see the browser. Chrome has been launched or the Firefox has been launched. So this is headless only. Yeah, we will not be able to see. We just see the output, what is going on. Yeah. So Jenkins is something which is doing that thing for us. So don't get into that as of now. Yeah, we'll be doing that as well. All right. So so like when I am like commenting out the weight, when I'm not entering the weight, so it's not able to interact with, so it's erroring out. So now when I'm adding the weight, let me run it and let's see. Even now this time also I'm not going to do anything. Let that window be there and let's see how it performs operation. So we applied some weight. So it's not doing that operation. Okay, so I need to close this one, then only it will be clicking on. At least now this time it has entered this and this, and then it is not able to click on these particular things. Okay, let me try with this one more time. Just give me a minute. Or I guess probably I need to take some different example to do this. Alright, let me try it one more time. If it works here, then that's fine. Else we take some different example. I want to show you the weight has been given by the Selenium. Probably this is not the correct example. See, it error out if you are just looking out over here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so it's been error out. Like it just navigate to this line, navigate to Instagram page, and then it error out. Yeah, and if I have this thread.sleep over here, yeah, and if I'm running it, it's performing the operation. Let me close this and just wait for. So it entered the email address, it entered the password, and it clicked on the login button. Yeah, so it performed the operation, isn't it? So why it's still happening? I'm doing the same thing, right? So when I'm removing the thread, when I remove the thread, I did the same. So it should work, isn't it? But it's not working. It's not working. So let me just have thread over here of 5 seconds so that I can, uh, close that window meantime, and then we can perform the operation. I'm just applying only 2 seconds, and then we'll see. Probably it will load in 2 seconds. See, it's not doing the operation now. Why? We have the web elements here, yeah. So when I gave a thread.sleep, at that time it worked, and now it's not working. It's saying only user navigate to Instagram page. So this operation has been performed, and it error out for this particular operation. If I just check this error, what it is saying is, right, exception in thread main, no such element, unable to find the web element with this particular locator. It's not able to find it out the username. You can see no such element. It's unable to find the username. This is no such element exception. We got to no such element exception, and where we got it, we got at line number 33. If you just looked at the last line, this is what my package name, this is what my the program name, the class name is the main, this is what my class name, log into Instagram, and this is what my method. And in this method at line number 33, if I just click on it, it will navigate me to over here at line number 33. It's not able to understand, like it's not able to find it out this web element, but the web element was there, isn't it? We saw it. It is there. You can see it. But why it is saying I'm not able to find it at now? And if I enter this thread.sleep over here, yeah. So then, like probably it may be able to find it out. Or if I just increase this thread by 5 seconds. So previously we had the thread of 5 seconds over here. So if I increase this to 5 seconds, probably this time it may be able to, it will be able to find it out. So why this is happening? And if that is the case, so will it be feasible for me to write thread.sleep everywhere? And again, on the top of that, it's saying like the thread.sleep is not ever, no, I mean, never been recommended. Then what do I do? If it is not recommended and then like, I don't want to use it, then how do I deal with my web elements? Yeah. So why it is not recommended? Very first thing, if you looked at, so over here we have only 3 or 4 operations, and how much time we are waiting? 5 seconds over here, 2 seconds over here, 2 seconds over here, and some like 5 seconds over here to close the browser. So almost we are waiting for 30 or 14 seconds over here to perform a simple login operation. What if I have thousands of line code to execute? And if I apply, 2 second, 3 second wait for each and every operation, oh man, right? The manual tester will perform the operation faster than me then. Like, then what is the use of my automation? Yeah. So it's been never recommended, isn't it? So that's what, like, the Selenium come up with the wait. Yeah. So this all are the, this all things has been handled by the wait. Yeah. So this thread.sleep is the utility the provided by the Java, right? So that's what it is called as the hard coded wait. Yeah. And it's been never recommended. Yeah. So in order to deal with this, what we need to do is we need to use the implicitly wait. Selenium has come up with the implicitly wait. Now how to do that? So just driver dot manage. Now what I want to manage, I want to manage my uh, timeouts dot implicitly wait and the duration of what is the duration I want to say? Duration is always in the milliseconds. Let's take an example, 10,000. So what this statement will gonna do? Just understand. So driver.manage.windows.maximize. So what we are doing here it. So manage is the class where we are able to manage almost all stuff. Yeah. So driver.manage.windows. So we are managing the window, and what we are doing, we are maximizing it. Now driver.manage. What I want to manage? I want to manage my timeout. I want to manage the time. Okay. And what is my timeout I want to manage? I want to manage apply the implicitly wait of duration 10 seconds. So it's 10,000 milliseconds. So it's a 10 seconds. So ultimately it will gonna be a 10 seconds, the max time. So what does this statement mean? So now moving forward, after this particular line of 21, which is at the 21, right, the location. So whenever I'm saying driver, so the driver will gonna wait for maximum 10 seconds to perform this operation. What does it mean? So as soon as this is been launched, it won't perform this operation immediately. So what has happened last time? So it launches the browser and then like it started executing the this particular stuff. It's not waiting anymore. So it is going over here. So it's least bothered about whether this operation is performed or not. Like it went over here, and then it's starting doing this thing, and this again, like once this is done, so it's starting like this statement, this statement, this statement. That's what is not able to find it out the web element, because the website itself was not launched. So the website might take some seconds, 1 second or 2 seconds to launch, right? When I'm saying Instagram.com, so the page is been loading. It will gonna take some time based on your, the site performance or the performance of your internet speed, right? Based on the performance, your text workstation, whatever you're using, it will gonna take some time to load, right? And Selenium won't wait for that much time. It is, like game of the second, millisecond, microsecond. It won't wait for that much time, isn't it? So that's what like, all right. So it will gonna not it will not gonna wait for that much time to your website. As soon as this statement has been executed, it will work on this and this and this. and it will error out saying I'm not able to find it out this particular web element. After 2 seconds, that page has been loaded and it's been visible. But when the pointer is at this particular location, when Selenium is running the script, and when at this point particular location, that web element was not there, and that's what it is error out. That's the reason what we are doing. We are using this implicitly wait now. Now what it's gonna do? It will gonna wait 10 second max 10 second, as we have specified 10 second over here. So it will gonna wait maximum 10 second to perform this operation. If this web element is not there, it will gonna wait maximum 10 seconds for this particular web element to be appear to work on it. If in 10 seconds as well, if this web element is not there, then it will gonna error out. Till that time, it will gonna wait for that particular web element to be to perform that particular operation. That is what the meaning of this particular implicitly wait. Now you don't need to look into this thing now. Yeah, so what it's gonna do, it itself like gonna work on this thing. You really don't need to get into the Thread.sleep now. The operation will be quick, but it will gonna perform that operation. Yeah, so let's see whether it will gonna do that or not. Yeah, so let's have a look on this thing. Let me run it and let's see what it's gonna do for us. Again, this window is coming over here. That is some challenge we have. And see, yeah, the operation was quick. As soon as my page has been loaded, it did the operation. It performed all the operation, and it the quit the driver. Right? As we are getting this on the console, that means clicking on the login button. So like everything has been happened. So like the program went to this, and it ultimately it quit the driver. So this is something the old instance we have over here, lying over here. Yeah, the old instance lying over here. So that's there, isn't it? So that is what the power of this implicitly wait, right? So only one statement which you need to write, and it will gonna um, manage the synchronization. This is what it is called as the synchronization. How to handle the synchronization? Yeah, the page loading time and the page synchronization. Yeah, so Selenium has the implicitly wait to handle this synchronization. Yeah, so again, this is a 10 seconds. So what if the web element take like more time, 10 second, 12 second, then again the script will fail. Then how do I identify? Let's take an example. I took 20 seconds over here. All right. Now what if my wave element took 25 seconds? Again, I will be facing the same challenge, isn't it? So what if my wave element took 30 seconds? Probably that might be happen, right? So like if you guys are working on the insurance or kind of banking kind of stuff. So like after entering all your details, when you are at the page where the premium is been calculated, if you notice at that time it takes some time to load that page. Reason being, there is n number of calculation is going on the back end based on the input which you are providing. You are the questionnaires which you answered based on your age, your like workstation, and all your health questions and all those stuff. So once you answered all your the questionnaires, and when you are at the page is loading to calculate your premium, it takes some time, isn't it, to to load that page. That may vary depend on the questionnaire which you answered, isn't it? So over there is high chances your script will fail. Yeah, so at that time even this implicitly wait won't work. So over there we need to use some explicitly wait, and we'll be looking into that. So as of now, as of today, I'll just introduce you. But yes, that is something called as the explicitly wait, right, which is varied by the web elements. So we'll be looking into it down the line. Not today, but yes, today you just need to understand on the implicitly wait. but we do have the explicit wait as well to deal with particular web element. And that particular explicitly wait you can apply on one single web element or all web element. So what is happening over here is been applied across all your web element, right? So whatever, rather all your statement which is started from the driver, isn't it? Once I write this statement over here, is been applied implicitly. That is what is the implicitly wait meaning. It's applied implicitly by default kind of stuff, isn't it? It's applied implicitly on whatever statement you are writing over here started with the driver. Yeah, that's there. So now I don't need to use the thread.sleep, isn't it? So whatever time the website will be take, the element will be take, it will gonna go ahead and work on. But max 10 second I'm gonna wait. After 10 second, if web element took 11 second or 10.5 seconds, it will error out. That is something how it is. The implicitly wait is all about, right? So moving forward, whenever you are writing your code, right, start writing with this line, right? Driver, you will launch the driver, then maximize the your window, and then apply the implicitly wait, right? Then navigate to your URL, whatever it may be, XYZ URL, and at the bottom, don't ever miss to write the driver.quit statement. This is what your initial skeleton, and after that you need to add what are all different actions you are performing into it. All right, that is what something how it is. But never ever forget to write this statement, these two lines of code in your program, and this is something which is very important. All right, that's there. Yeah, so this is what the implicitly wait is all about. All right, so that's there. Yeah, so any question over here? So we will be going to use the thread.sleep just to understand, right? Just to look at the flow, how it is going. Yeah, so in the same way, yeah, so what we can do is so how much time we left with 15 minutes. Okay. All right, so we'll take some quick topic over here. Mm, because this is gonna be a long lengthy one. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this checkbox. So we'll see how to deal with this checkbox. So over here, let me launch this website. All right, so over here on this particular website, what we have is we have the first name, last name. This is all are the input box. So you got an idea how to deal with this input box now, right? How to enter first name, last name, how to find this web element address, email address, phone number. So this is what the all input box, and we saw today how to deal with this. Now what we have this radio button and this checkbox to deal with. Yeah. So how to work on this? And then we have some more web element. So we'll be looking into a drop down box and all those stuff. So we'll see into that. Yeah. So like what we can do, we'll work on this how to deal with this radio button and the checkbox. Yeah, so quickly I'm going to go ahead and create one class, naming this checkbox. By the way, if you just double click on this window, so your the window will maximize and the minimize both way. So I'll go over here, I'll right click and say new class and test checkbox and radio button. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the main method. there was a space. All right. So the radio button and the text uh, checkbox. All right. So let me get the code from here only. So don't do this, guys. Type by your own. Yeah. So that's there. And what I need to do is I need to navigate to this particular website. Let me try it. So this is what the basic skeleton. Oh, okay. All right. All right. So make a practice. Make a practice to write, as much as you can in your code, isn't it? All right. So we navigated to this particular website. Okay. So what next? Same story, isn't it? That is something which we need to do, right? So I want to deal with this particular um, radio button, right? The radio button which is named with the gender. Yeah. So again, like I just right click on it and I'll say inspect, and see I have something over here, different properties. I have type is equals to radio, name is equals to radio option, yeah, and value is equals to mail. We do have different properties over here, isn't it? So I can just right click and say copy as Xpath, control F, paste it over here. See, I got it. Yeah, but again, like one of it's been unique, but it's again like it's been not recommended. You can see, so there are so many things. So I'll just take this thing out and I can use okay, and I can use name is equals to radio button. Yeah, that is what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this option from here, select radio button, and I'll just change this to name and over here as a radio button. So it did identify two web element over here now. Yeah. So we have two web element over here. See, with the same name. See, the property is the same. Type is equals to radio and name is equal. So type is equals to radio and name is equals to radio, but options. See over here as well. For like both the radio button, the properties are same. Type radio, name radio options. So everything is same. You can see over here the value male and the value female. Yeah, this is something which is a different over here. So now whenever we are having the web element with the same attribute type, first what we need to check is, right, whether that radio button, yeah, that particular web element is having some unique property or not. So over here we do have the unique property which is as value. So let me go with this value. See, now it's one of one, isn't it? Now it's been uniquely identified. Yeah, I can go ahead and use this the Xpath now. Yeah, so value is equals to male. Yeah, and then over here value is equals to female to check that particular radio button. So I can go ahead and use this XPath. So whenever we have this kind of things, we first option, the first thing which we need to do is check if there are some common like check there if there is some unique property, not common property, check which is unique. So I easily get it at, yeah, so we do have the unique property, so I can just get that. So this is what my attribute type, which is value, and my attribute value is male over here and the female over here. Yeah, so I just take this XPath and then I'll go to my the program, and what I gotta do is pretty straightforward. Driver dot find element by dot XPath, and I'm gonna write enter, double quote, and paste my expression over here. And what I need to do is simply I need to say click. That's it. It is that simple. Yeah. So manually as well. So when you want to perform the operation on this, what you do? You just click on it. That's it. Over here as well, you just click on this checkbox, and it will be check. It will be check, isn't it? So that is what you need to do. So like same thing I'm doing. So I'm clicking on this. If I want to select this checkbox, I just need to click on this, and then it will be checked, isn't it? If I want to select this, I just need to click on this. So ultimately, I'm performing the click operation, isn't it? If you are looking at, so manually also I'm performing the click operation. So that is what I need to do with the Selenium as well. Yeah, I'm just performing the click operation, right? Though it has been button, over here also we are performing the click operation, right? Refresh. So this is what the click operation. If I say refresh, so it will be refresh. Yeah. So over here as well, we are performing the click operation, same operation to select the radio button and then the checkbox. It is pretty straightforward. Yeah. So I select it, right? The mail over here, and that's done. So it will gonna select it. And if I want to select any hobby, so let's go ahead and check for this particular radio button movie, and then see over here we have three properties. Type is equals to checkbox, id is equals to checkbox 2, and value is equals to movie. Yeah, so under this particular div, this web element, we have three child web element. First is the web element with the cricket, second is the movie, and third is the hockey. Yeah, three child web element, isn't it? And all they probably have type same. See, this property is same, type checkbox, but id is different, checkbox 1, and value is different, cricket over here. Over here type is same, id is different, value is different. For third web element as well, type is same, id is different, and the value is different. So either ways you can take a value or you can take a id, right? So like we saw already the value, so I'm going to go ahead and take the id now. Yeah, so we have the id property over here, so that is what is been there. Ah, here it is. Yeah, the id. Yeah, so I can, this time I'm gonna go ahead and I want to, select the movie. So for movie, this is, I have the id, which is what, the checkbox 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and name it as id, and I'm gonna go ahead and write checkbox 2. See, it's been uniquely identified. One of one has been highlighted in yellow, and if I mouse over, my web element has been highlighted on my web page. Yeah, it's been highlighting over there. So that's there. Yeah, so I got it. I got my unique identification of the web element, and I'll just go to my program and I'll say, again, driver dot find web element by dot XPath. And what is my XPath expression? This is something what my XPath expression. And again, what I need to do is I just need to perform the click operation on that, and that's it. All right, I'm done. So what I can do, I'll go ahead and add some statement over here so that I'll be able to see it. And yeah, um, I'll write something. I'll say user clicked on mail, or something which is, what you can do is write something which is meaningful. Don't write anything. Yeah, so message should be properly. Yeah, so radio button, which is something which is selected by the user. Yeah, and then what else? over here, you just selected the what is that, movie something, right? Checkbox. This should be this message should be user friendly. Yeah, this is something ultimately is coming to your the execution report when you will be generating the report. So try to make a practice to write a proper message what you are doing over here. Yeah, it should be in a proper way, isn't it? So you just selected the movie checkbox. That is what we were selecting. Yeah, movies. All right. So something like that. Yeah. So as we have already implicitly wait over here, so probably I do not need to add any Thread.sleep or something like that. And then like so that's there. And again I can write something here. Yeah, to be more precise, isn't it? So let me run it and let's see. The Chrome has been launched. It will navigate to URL. See, oh, it was too fast. Yeah, but yes, the both operation has been performed. That's what we got this on our console. But operation was just like a blink of eyes, isn't it? So that is what how it is. This is a game of the microsecond, isn't it? So now what is happening over here? So if I just remove, if I just remove this statement, mm, if I just remove this statement from here, implicitly wait, let's see. Remove as in I just comment it out. Yeah, this is the shortest way, I mean the smartest way to do that. Just comment it out whatever you don't want and double the backslash. So that's there. You can comment your statement. Now it performed the operation, still it performed the operation, right? Because the web element is already there. Yeah. So like with it or without it, it's running. But like is sometime what is happening. So if web element is not there, it may not be able to perform the operation. Yeah. So it's always a good practice to have this statement there. It's always a good practice. So I just though I commented, still those the web elements was there, so it was able to perform that operation. Yeah, but it's always a good practice to have it, right? Sometime it may take longer to load, and then probably we end up with a problem. Yeah, so that is what how it is. Let me run it one more time. Yeah, the web element is already there, and then site is still loading. That's what is performing the operation. All right. Have you noticed it? The web element is already there, and then still because this is a dummy website. This is not the live production website. This is a dummy site. Yeah, that's what it is there. They do not have anything to come from the database, isn't it? So that's what is loading directly. Yeah, it's a dummy website. All right, but in real life, it will take some time to load. Yeah, we saw in Instagram, it takes some time to load because that is a live production website. All right. But yes, this is what the simple short way to click on the radio button and to work with the checkbox just to perform the click operation. All right, so that's it. So that's it. Like we almost saw most of this. Yeah, class name is something which is we are pending with. So we'll see down the line. And CSS selector is there. Generally we are not using it, but yeah, we are using mostly ID, XPath, name, tag name. Sometimes we need it, Class name again, sometimes we need it, but mostly ID, name, and the XPath. These three the locators are most widely used. Yeah. Again, the ID is the toppest, goes on the top priority. So very first priority is the ID. Yeah. So ID is 99.999% will never change, isn't it? So and then the name comes later, and then the class name and the tag name. All right. So but ID is something which is very first priority, first preference for the ID. All right. ID. So that's all from my end as of today. So if you have any question, please go ahead, guys. All right, no worries. So I'll just upload this recording in some time, and then I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Ron.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
around.
Ram. Bye.